Severe storms have battered the Garden Route and Eastern Cape, prompting school closures and widespread flooding. Several roads have also been closed in both provinces, including the Swartberg Pass between Prince Albert and Oudtshoorn, while homes in some informal settlements have been destroyed on the Garden Route and in Nelson Mandela Bay. The Touw River mouth and wilderness, along the Garden Route, has broken open, with water now flowing freely between the river and the sea. Elias Sithole, National Disaster Management Head, told IOL, all municipalities drafted disaster management plans and the contingency plans dealing with this specific hazard. Schools across 4 districts in the Eastern Cape, and more than 120 in the Garden Route and Karoo in the Western Cape, will be closed on Wednesday and Thursday. Between 8 a.m. on Tuesday and 8 a.m. on Wednesday, Port Alfred recorded the highest rainfall by far, measuring a massive 113 millimeters, according to the latest South African Weather Service. Other areas also saw substantial downpours, including Plettenberg Bay with 92 millimeters, Gqeberha at 85 millimeters, and Joubertina recording 80.8 millimeters. Robert Sobukwe Town, formerly Graf Reinet, and Potenzi also received significant totals of 79.4 millimeters and 77.2 millimeters, respectively. Further inland and along the coast, the rain remained steady. Kariega reported 63.4 millimeters, while Willowmore saw 60.4 millimeters. Addo recorded 56.8 millimeters, Beaufort West measured 56 millimeters, and both Cape St. Francis and George saw totals in the mid-50s. Gqeberha's Coega station recorded 53.6 millimeters. Meanwhile, towns like Fort Beaufort and Buffelsfontein saw much lighter falls, recording 5.4 millimeters and 4.6 millimeters, respectively, during the period. According to data recorded by the George Municipality's own monitoring stations, rainfall totals have varied across the region, with Uniondale measuring 136 millimeters, Waboomskraal 117 millimeters, Witfontein 76 millimeters, and Wilderness 73 millimeters. However, higher totals may have been recorded in towns or cities outside this network. ESA Weather Service meteorologist Lalo Kleinbowie said, "We have a cutoff low, that is weather system that develops in the upper air, that was over the western part of the country on Tuesday, and it then moved into the Eastern Cape. The combination of these weather systems then resulted in widespread showers and thunder showers across most parts of South Africa. Due to the placement of the weather systems, the bulk of the adverse weather strong to gale force winds, heavy rain leading to flooding, very rough to high seas, snowfall that may be disruptive, and very cold conditions is expected over the Cape provinces, while other provinces may mainly experience the cold weather and a likelihood of severe thunderstorms." She said rainfall figures were expected to be explosive along the south coast of the country, with some areas possibly getting more than 150 millimeters within a 24-hour period. Kleinbowie said snow was also expected over the high-lying areas of the Cape provinces, where it could cause disruptions, close more mountain passes, and make driving dangerous. It may also spread to the Drakensberg in KwaZulu-Natal, but only light snowfall is expected there, she said. In the Eastern Cape, rain has already been wreaking havoc since Tuesday night. Several streets in the northern areas and townships of Gqeberha were submerged in water. While pictures and videos circulating online appear to show the VWSA plant in Kariega once again underwater, spokesperson Andile Dlamini told IOL this was not the case. He said old images were being shared and wrongly presented as current. It is understood the Metro Police have no operational fleet due to fuel shortages, with only 11 commanders on standby. As of midnight, both 93 and 95 octane petrol increased by 3 rand and 27 cents per liter. Diesel drivers have been hit harder, with prices jumping by a staggering 5 rand and 27 cents per liter for both 0.5% and 0.005% sulfur grades. 7 of the Nelson Mandela Bay Traffic Department's vehicles are also without fuel, while 8 are below half capacity. Of the fire department's fleet, 18 vehicles have been topped up and are in use. The contract for the supply of petrol and diesel to municipal vehicles has allegedly expired, with no new contract currently in place. Deputy Mayor Gary Van Niekerk said he was aware of the issues. Some of those issues have been resolved or are in the process of being resolved, Van Niekerk said. I am aware of that. There are no casualties yet, and we are working around the clock to ensure everyone's safety. Some parts of the metro were also left in the dark from Tuesday afternoon due to power interruptions. The municipality has issued emergency notices and opened more than 20 community halls as temporary shelters for affected residents. When it comes to schools, classes in high-risk areas have already been called off as the weather threat intensify. A memo sent by the department warned that heavy downpours are anticipated. This memorandum serves to advise and instruct all district and school principals on necessary precautions and actions to safeguard our learners and school staff. Education head Sharon Mosdorp said, "A cut-off low-pressure system is currently passing over the Eastern Cape, bringing widespread showers and thunderstorms across the province. Heavy downpours are anticipated, particularly along the south coast and adjacent interior regions, including K-Mouth. The affected areas include Coega, Kukama, Nelson Mandela Bay, and Sundays River Valley. Flooding of settlements, roads and bridges, infrastructure damage, and dangerous driving conditions due to slippery roads and reduced visibility are expected," Mosdorp said. In other areas, she said principals must make alternative arrangements for schoolwork and prepare plans to recover lost teaching time once conditions improve. Eastern Cape Education spokesperson Malibongwe Matima confirmed the veracity of the notice. In the Western Cape, the impact has been more widespread, with more than 120 schools in areas including George, Knysna, and Oudtshoorn set to close over the same period as a safety measure. The bad weather has already begun disrupting daily life in parts of the Garden Route. Some shacks in Concordia, near Knysna on the Garden Route, have already been flooded after heavy rain lashed the area at about 3 a.m. on Wednesday. In George, the municipality announced the landfill site will be closed on Wednesday and Thursday due to expected heavy rain. Residents have also been urged to prepare for flooding, with sand made available for sandbags at several sites, including the Pacaltsdorp Traffic Department and Thembalethu Fire Station. At the same time, SA National Parks has warned of a high flood risk across the Garden Route National Park, with several hiking trails, water activities, and popular routes temporarily closed. Residents and visitors to the Garden Route National Park are advised to remain on high alert as severe weather conditions increase the risk of flooding across the region, said Sandparks spokesperson J.P. Liu. Sandparks said all water-based activities, hiking trails, and several popular routes have been temporarily closed across sections of the park, with some accommodation remaining open, but under strict monitoring. All closures remain in place until conditions are declared safe again. Separately, George Municipal spokesperson Chantel Edwards said the learner's license test scheduled for Wednesday in Uniondale has been postponed. Arrangements are being made to reschedule the test at the earliest available opportunity. All affected applicants will be notified of the new date in due course. Meanwhile, the picturesque coastal town of Plettenberg Bay and the broader Bitou Municipality are currently grappling with one of the most severe weather events in recent history. A powerful cut-off low-pressure system has slammed into the Garden Route, bringing with it a lethal combination of torrential rain, hurricane-force winds, and massive storm surges that have brought the region to a virtual standstill. Since the early hours of Wednesday, meteorological stations across Plettenberg Bay have recorded staggering rainfall figures. In some areas of Bitou, rainfall has exceeded 200 millimeters within a 24-hour period, nearly triple the average monthly rainfall for May. The intensity of the downpour has turned suburban streets into raging rivers. Residents in low-lying areas, particularly near the Pisang River and Kurboom's River, have been forced to evacuate as water levels breached embankments, flooding homes and sweeping away vehicles. As of Wednesday evening, the following critical issues have been reported. Eskom has confirmed a widespread unplanned power outage, affecting nearly the entire Plettenberg Bay area. Repairs are currently impossible as wind speeds reaching upwards of 120 kilometers per hour make it too dangerous for technicians to work on overhead lines or high-voltage pylons. Major arterial routes, including sections of the N2 highway, are intermittently closed due to mudslides, fallen trees, and deep standing water. Local authorities have urged motorists to stay off the roads entirely, citing life-threatening conditions. The Bitou Municipality has warned that while water remains available, the high turbidity in the river systems is putting immense strain on purification plants. Residents are urged to conserve water as a precaution. While Plettenberg Bay has managed to avoid confirmed fatalities thus far, the situation in the neighboring Garden Route remains grim.
In Knysna, emergency services confirmed that one person lost their life when a large tree collapsed onto their vehicle during the height of the gale. Emergency services, including the National Sea Rescue Institute, NSRI, South African Police Service, SAPS, and Bitou Fire and Rescue, are working around the clock. Search and rescue operations are prioritizing the elderly and those trapped in informal settlements, where the makeshift housing has little defense against the rising waters. The South African Weather Service, SAWS, has maintained an orange level 8 warning for disruptive rain and flooding. This is one of the highest alert levels possible, indicating a high likelihood of significant impact. In addition to the rain, a level 6 warning for damaging waves is in effect. Coastal landmarks like Beacon Isle and Central Beach are being battered by swells exceeding 6 to 9 meters. The sheer force of the ocean has already caused significant erosion and damage to beachfront boardwalks and restaurants. In the face of the disaster, the Plet community has shown remarkable resilience. Local community halls and churches have opened their doors as temporary shelters for those displaced. Volunteer groups are coordinating food, blankets, and dry clothing for families who have lost everything. The storm is expected to persist through the night, with a gradual weakening forecasted for late Thursday. However, the recovery and rebuilding process for Plettenberg Bay is expected to take months, if not years.
Water uit die Sierveld het 15 minuten gelede hier in die Kommerveer uitgemond.
Bona nathi bane he bo hlolang bo go hlogisa Bothubehile hape ke bana bo hlolang bo go hlogisa bona.